Aggravated DWI in the state of New York. Aggravated driving while intoxicated, DWI, is a serious offense with severe consequences in the state of New York. It refers to operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, level of 0.18% or higher, which is more than double the legal limit. The impact of being convicted of aggravated DWI can be far-reaching, affecting various aspects of your life. Understanding these consequences is crucial to make informed decisions and taking necessary steps to defend your rights. Distinction between DWI and aggravated DWI. Charges of driving while impaired or driving under the influence, DWI or DUI, refers to a driver operating a motor vehicle while impaired by alcohol or drugs. Blood alcohol concentration, BAC, threshold. In New York, the legal limit for BAC is 0.08% for drivers aged 21 years and above. Drivers with BAC levels at or above this limit can be charged with DWI. Presence of a minor in the vehicle, Leandra's Law. One of the most concerning factors that can exacerbate a DWI case is the presence of a minor in the vehicle at the time of the arrest. Legal consequences of aggravated DWI in New York. Driving while intoxicated, DWI, is already a serious criminal offense in New York. The consequences become even more severe in cases of aggravated DWI. An aggravated DWI occurs when a person is found to be driving with a blood alcohol content, BAC, of 0.18% or higher. Conviction of an aggravated DWI can have advanced penalties compared to a per se DWI, including the following. Criminal penalties. New York State imposes strict penalties on individuals who are charged with an aggravated DWI. First-time offenders. First-time aggravated DWI offenders in New York face a Class E felony charge. The maximum criminal penalties for a first-time offender include up to 1 year in jail, a fine ranging from $1,000 to $2,500, mandatory attendance at a New York State Drinking Driver Program, DDP, a 1-year driver's license revocation. For a per se conviction under Leandra's Law, offenders can face up to 4 years in prison and to $5,000 in fines. If the child is harmed, additional penalties may apply. If the driver causes or gets into an accident that causes serious injury to the child, the driver can face a Class C felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison. If the driver causes or gets into an accident that causes the death of the child, the driver can face a Class B felony punishable by up to 25 years in prison. Repeat offenders. Repeat offenders face even harsher penalties, often depending on how recently the prior offense occurred. If a second aggravated DWI occurs within 10 years of the first, the individuals are charged with a Class E felony, facing the following maximum penalties. Up to 4 years in prison, a fine ranging from $1,000 to $5,000, mandatory attendance at a drinking driver program, license revocation for at least 18 months. If a third aggravated DWI occurs within 10 years, the offender is charged with a Class D felony. The maximum penalties for a third-time offender include up to 7 years in prison, a fine ranging from $2,000 to $10,000, mandatory attendance at a drinking driver program, License revocation for at least 18 months. License suspension and revocation. New York courts impose license suspension or revocation in all aggravated DWI cases. Ignition interlock device, IID, requirements. Aggravated DWI offenders may be required to install an ignition interlock device, IID, in their vehicle. Driver responsibility assessment. In addition to criminal penalties and license suspensions, New York State also imposes an annual driver responsibility assessment, DRA, on individuals with an aggravated DWI conviction. Common defenses against aggravated DWI charges. Driving while intoxicated, DWI, charges can be difficult to fight, but when you are faced with aggravated DWI charges, the stakes get higher. Aggravated DWI typically involves higher BAC levels or additional factors that make the offense more severe. If you are facing aggravated DWI charges, it is important to understand the possible defenses available to challenge these charges and protect your rights. Challenging the validity of the traffic stop. The first defense strategy against an aggravated DWI charge may involve challenging the legality of the traffic stop. Questioning the reliability of BAC testing. BAC test results are often a crucial piece of evidence in a DWI case. If the defense can challenge the accuracy or reliability of these test results, it could lead to a dismissal or reduction of the charges. Some ways to challenge BAC testing results include questioning whether the breathalyzer device was properly calibrated and maintained, investigating whether the testing officer was trained and certified to administer the test, exploring whether there were any environmental factors that could have affected the test results. Medical conditions and contamination issues. Certain medical conditions can interfere with BAC testing and result in falsely elevated readings. Procedural violations. If the arresting officer violated your constitutional rights or failed to follow proper procedures, the evidence collected against you may be inadmissible in court. Some common procedural violations include failing to read you your Miranda rights, improperly administering BAC tests, not having probable cause for an arrest, ignoring your right to speak with an attorney, improper administration of field sobriety tests. Field sobriety tests are often used by law enforcement officers to determine if an individual is under the influence of alcohol. Non-legal consequences of an aggravated DWI conviction. An aggravated DWI, driving while impaired, conviction can wreak havoc on your personal and professional life. The consequences of an aggravated DWI are more severe than a standard DWI, especially if there are multiple offenses. This is due to aggravating factors such as an extremely high blood alcohol content, BAC, causing bodily harm, or driving with a minor in the vehicle. Aside from the legal penalties, a conviction of aggravated DWI can have the following non-legal consequences on a person's life. Impact on employment and job opportunities. An aggravated DWI conviction can have significant consequences on your employment and job prospects. Insurance premium increases. One of the immediate consequences of an aggravated DWI conviction is an increase in your auto insurance premiums. Immigration. Immigration authorities take criminal convictions, especially those involving serious offenses such as aggravated DWI, into account when evaluating an individual's admissibility or eligibility for certain immigration benefits. Social stigma. The social stigma associated with an aggravated DWI conviction can be just as damaging to your personal life as the legal and financial consequences. Restricted travel and driving privileges. An aggravated DWI conviction can severely limit your ability to travel both domestically and internationally. To speak with a top-rated DWI attorney, contact us today at 516-280-2160 or 516-280-2160 to schedule a consultation.